And that's a good sign. So all I have to do now is count it down. This is great. Let's just do that. In 3, resume. 3, 2, 1.
Go share, it's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. We gonna sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give a at the birthday.
I heard you think you're hot shit, but you ain't nothing but a cold fart.
The morning stream. They wouldn't give us any more fish.
Good morning and welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Thursday is the real day, November 30th, 2023. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbott. Hi.
Hello.
How many more days do we have? Are we at the...
This is the last day of the month. Final, it's the closing of November.
There's no 31. Oh, man.
There's no 31.
That's a shame. Never has been, right? There's no 31 in November.
Nope, never.
Why is it every November I ask the question whether I've done this?
It's probably one of those months you don't think, like everybody knows, like, oh, well, December always has 31 because we've got New Year's Eve and January always has it and blah, blah, blah. And we know February is either, 28 days or 29 days, depending on leap year, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But November is one of those. Does it? I can't remember. There's so many other things going on right now. I can't keep track.
I'm going to go back to what was the calendar everybody used in the olden times. Let's go back to
we are on the Gregorian.
Yeah, Gregorian's the one we're on.
What is it? The Ciserian Calendar. No, it's the
Aztecs had one. We could do theirs.
They did. The Mayans had one.
Yeah. Didn't one of
Stephanie
them?
asks. Yeah. Stephanie asks, why isn't today Thanksgiving? It's because this month has 5 Thursdays, and Thanksgiving is typically the 4th Thursday.
That's right.
So,
and I prefer that. I want more of that for my holidays. I don't like specific dates that end up floating around the week.
Yeah, I agree. I
hate that. I don't want Christmas. Christmas this year is like on a, what is it? It's like a weird day.
Yeah, Monday Christmas.
It's just weird.
It should be, right. Christmas should be the 4th Sunday of the month or something.
Yes, 100% that. Whatever it is, whatever you want your cadence to be, you pick it and you go for it. And it's no longer just stuck at the 25th. It's just, we do it fine with Thanksgiving. We could do it fine with Christmas. The only problem is you have to convince the whole world to change.
Right, exactly. And
they're not going to do
that. And let's not even get into the mess, the calculation mess that is Easter.
Yeah, right. Neither of which happened in the times they're set in, right? So Jesus was born in the spring. What are we doing in December?
Right.
What a bunch of weirdos we are.
Yeah.
All right. Check this out. Brian's got a quiz for me of some sort.
I do. I should look and see who sent this in. This was sent in by
somebody.
I'll tell ya. Come on now. Do I have to type the whole thing?
I don't know. Do you?
Jeez Louise. Do. The problem is there's so many things. Oh my god. Why is it so hard to find this?
I don't know. But
I'll find it.
I believe in you.
Yeah. I'm not going to waste any more damn time. We're going to play the game. Whoever you are who sent this in, thank you. And I don't know why I can't find it, but
we'll give you not posthumous. That means he's dead. We'll give you post credit sometime down the road if you just write in, tell us who you were, and then we'll say it. Don't worry.
Adam Kazmarek. There we go.
Oh,
what I did is because he sent it to me as a Google sheet, and I right-clicked on one of the fields and looked at edit history. That's how I had to find out who sent this in.
Nice.
And the reason is it's a Tony Soprano quiz or a Sopranos TV show quiz because you basically just finished your watch along or your rewatch, not watch along, but your rewatch of the series.
Yeah, my 3rd time through as well. So
that's crazy. I still have only watched it the one time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Who's got time for that sort of thing?
This particular watch through I really enjoyed. There were a couple things I came away with though, and one is all the secondary AJ stories. The son, terrible. They're all terrible.
Really,
they're stupid. Yeah. He's not. No offense to the actor, he's fine. It's just terrible storylines every time AJ was involved. Hated it. Anyway,
funny.
I don't know why it didn't bother me the first 2 times, but this time it just totally drove me nuts. But anyway.
Well, we have 14 questions, and these are organized like he's got 1, 2, 3, and 4-star difficulty levels on these. And I'm thinking I'm going to give you points based on that. So if you get a 1-star correct, you'll get 1 point for it. We'll see how you do at the end.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
And for those listening at home or those in the chat, I see DJ Stengel's never watched the show. The Sopranos is basically what if a mob-style story, long form because it's a series, was told from the perspective we are in a modern day doing mobster things. So think, Goodfellas, but in a modern time, or think Godfather, sort of in a modern time. In fact, a lot of these actors came from both of those movies. Like, think of it that way. If you've never seen it, you
really have to explain what The Sopranos is, though. Like,
I don't know. He says he's never seen it.
I've watched an episode. I know, but I've never watched. Prior to my watching of Golden Girls, you don't know. You would have to say, well, it's as if there are these 4 older ladies and they're friends. Right. And
well, somebody somewhere thinks it's about singers. You just know it's true because of the name Soprano.
Really?
Because soprano, right? It's a singing term.
I feel like it's such a well-known show. Even if you haven't seen an episode, I can't imagine there's somebody out there. But I want somebody to write in. If you until today thought The Sopranos was not about a mobster and his family, both families, then please let us know.
Send it in. I would love to hear from you, because I'll be honest, before I saw it, that's what I thought.
Did you really?
Yeah. When people said, have you heard about this new series called The Sopranos? I'm like, is it about singing? And they would clarify, and then I understood. So there's got to be somebody out there who didn't get clarified, right? Somebody who was never told.
And back then, I can understand. Obviously, in 2023, definitely.
It feels weird now. If you don't know now, it's pretty weird. Yeah.
There was this show about these 6 friends, and it was called Friends. All right, let's get into it. What is the name of Tony Soprano's boat?
I know this. Gosh dang it.
And I hate to say this is a 1-star.
It's probably one I should just know off the top of my head. All right. It's the Bing is the Bada Bing is the club, so it's not the boat.
Right.
Shit. I'm going to say, I think it's a girl's name. The Gabagool. I don't know.
You're really, really close. It's the Stugatz.
Stugatz. Gosh dang it.
Stugatz.
All right, that's not a girl, is it?
It's not a girl, but you're right in that it was like an Italian phrase.
Yeah. All right. Off to a great start. Yeah.
Off to a great start. Let's go from a 1-star to a 4-star question.
Great.
What singer was played loud over the speakers on Tony's boat when it was anchored to annoy the neighbors?
That is he's one of the pack, the one that was drunk all the time.
The 6-pack, yeah.
The Vegas guys. Hold on, my brain. Oh, what's his name? Oh my gosh! The one he's always like a big pizza pie. That guy. Oh, Dean Martin. Dean Martin.
There you go. Very good. Nicely done. All right, Dean Martin.
So what do I get for that? 4 points for that?
4 points. Yeah.
Someone keep track at home so we don't.
I'm keeping track here. I've got it in the spreadsheet.
All right, nice.
Tony owns one of JFK's captain's hats. What does the woman who sings "Happy Birthday" own from JFK?
She's the one. It's this lady.
Happy birthday.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's her.
Oh, hilarious. Yes. All right.
Because they're talking about they have memorabilia. They have a whole conversation about it.
So she has some JFK memorabilia as well. What does she have?
Dang it. You'd think I'd know this.
I guess it's in the chat room. An STD, a vial of blood, the magic bullet. You guys are great.
Yeah, you guys are pretty great.
Stained blue dress. It was a white dress.
I'm gonna say I'm just gonna have to guess because I don't remember. Oh no, the golf clubs were Seinfeld, right? Peterman sends Elaine to go bid on JFK's golf clubs.
Were they JFK's golf clubs? Okay.
Yeah, and then Jerry's car gets stolen by by that guy that was the brother on Everyone Loves Raymond or whatever.
Oh, really?
I don't know. She has I don't know. She has his toupee. I have no idea.
An embroidered handkerchief.
Oh, gosh dang it. If I'd have thought just a little harder, I would have had it.
This one's a little more up your alley. What 2 video game systems do we see Anthony Jr. playing on the floor when Tony comes home?
N64 originally was him playing Mario Kart, and he played that a lot. That was early. Okay. And it's famous because there's a shot of Tony trying to play with him, and he's handling it with the middle prong. He's just... It's stupid.
Nice.
It's stupid. And then the next one would be a 360, an Xbox 360, I believe.
Oh.
No?
I'm sorry, it was a Sega Dreamcast.
No!
Yes.
Oh, I got my white controllers mixed up. I was sure it was a 360. It was later, though. It was like 05.
Oh, well. All right, let's go to this one. Silvio is the manager of the Bada Bing.
He is.
And he's also a famous guitar player. What band does he play for?
It's the E Street Band, and what's his name? Caught me on the worst morning for names.
Apparently so.
I'm
giving it to you anyway. I just wanted to see if you can come up with
what's wrong with
the name of the boss.
Yeah, the boss, Bruce Springsteen.
There you go. Well done.
Jeez Louises.
What's funny is that's another 4-star. That one I would have thought was a 1-star difficulty.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't seem that hard.
Yeah.
I always thought that was pretty obvious. All right.
What 2 kinds of shows and movies does Tony like to watch? What 2 genres are his favorite genres of movies and TV shows?
He likes film noir, like old black and white detective-y kind of things. Because there's a whole episode where he spends all his time watching. Listen here, say, what's his name? I forgot that guy's name.
Oh, anyway. Sam Spade, the Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, one of those old things.
Uh-huh.
And so that's one. So you said the 2 genres?
Yeah, but that's not one of the 2 I have.
Shit.
So I'll go ahead and save it now. War and westerns, according to.
Oh, that's weird. Because he watches all kinds of stuff. I don't know if does he ever state explicitly that they're his favorite?
I don't know. That's
all right.
All right, let's get to this one. What kind of car does Tony buy Anthony Jr.?
It is a Toyota 4Runner. Right?
Oh,
no, I'm sorry. Wait.
Okay, all right.
It's a Nissan Pathfinder.
It is a Nissan Xterra.
Oh!
A yellow Nissan Xterra.
Crap! I get those mixed up, and then... damn it. All right. There's a whole thing with that stupid car.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay. I didn't remember that.
Whole storyline. That's another AJ story that sucked. It's not good.
Oh, really? Was all about that car?
Yeah.
All right. How about this one? Whose mugshot is hanging in the office at the Bada Bing?
Oh, I don't think I noticed that. Did they ever point it out? Mugshot. Probably. Oh, this is such a guess. I'll just say John Gotti.
Frank Sinatra.
Sinatra?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Damn it. That's not good at all.
That's not good at all. What animal invades the pool area of the Sopranos' home more than a few times?
What animal?
What animal invades the pool area of the Sopranos' home more than a few times?
Okay, this is a little bit of a trick question. Because there was a time early on in the show where they were ducks.
A very, very first episode, I think, isn't that? Because I think that he talks to the therapist about that.
Yeah,
but,
and he has his first panic attack or whatever it is.
Yep, but ducks are not what I'm looking for.
Then it's a bear.
It is a bear.
Okay.
Yep,
right.
Black bear.
I knew there was bear. I couldn't remember. It was more than once. Must have been.
Yeah, apparently more than a few times. Says,
Okay.
says
All
Adam.
right, I'll take the points.
What movie did Anthony Jr. give his mother for her birthday?
Another AJ story.
I know, this is very AJ focused. I'll tell you, this is the last AJ question now that I'm looking through the list.
Oh, good. All right. Shit. What was it? She was really into something that she watched with the priest guy who she worked with later in that Nurse Jackie show. He was the guy that gave her all the drugs all the time, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah. Was it? Oh, shit. It might have been that movie that they always liked. Oh my gosh, I'll guess. I'll just say. I can't think of anything. Why can't I think of anything? I'll think it's the Casino from Scorsese. Casino.
Okay. The Matrix.
Damn it!
Yep.
It couldn't be more obvious, opposite of freaking anything I just said. The Matrix. And of course, AJ. Right. Of course, AJ is going to give him something he thinks is cool from when he's growing up.
Yeah. All right. What park does Tony's hotel overlook when he stayed in Central New York?
What park?
Yeah. What park?
Is this the one where he dreamt the whole thing because he was in a coma?
Might have. I don't know. That you're the one who watched it more recently than.
I mean, Central New York sounds like Central Park, so I'll say Central Park.
Yeah, of course it's Central Park. Yeah. that is what's known as throwing you a bone.
Yeah. It also felt very like I was supposed to go. Wait a minute, Central.
Right.
I guess
Central Park sounds like a trick.
Yeah.
Sure. What is Tony's nickname for his wife Carmela, and what is her father's nickname for her?
These are two separate names?
Two separate names. Yep.
Okay, so
two separate nicknames for Carmela, one from Tony and one from her father.
Nicknames, not necessarily shortenings, because he calls her Carm a lot.
Sure. That is what I'm looking for the Tony nickname.
Okay, so yeah, he calls her Carm.
Carm.
Carm, yep. And then in his case...
Yeah, what does her father call her?
He's just a pissy old dude. He's the one that fell off the roof. That was a great episode.
I remember that.
Too bad this question is, who fell off the roof?
Right, yeah.
Let's see. I don't know what he called her. The dad was barely on. Karma.
It's the name of two Spice Girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there are two Spice Girls with the same name?
There are two Spice Girls with the same name.
Oh, with their original name, not their Spice names.
Yeah, right. That would be very, very confusing. But I'm Baby Spice. No, I'm Baby Spice.
So wait a minute. I don't have the working knowledge of the Spice Girls.
That's all right. That's all right.
I give up. Right. What's this one?
Mel.
Oh shit! I do remember.
It is
saying that.
Yeah. It's basically the next three letters after sharing a letter with Carm.
Sure.
Carm and Mel.
All right. Damn it.
All right, you did watch the show, right?
Yeah, I know. I realized.
I'm thinking of the same. We're thinking of the same Sopranos.
It's the exact same show. We totally did. Okay. Yeah. All the wrong details.
I have faith in you. You got this one. What's the name of the New Hampshire pancakes that Vito falls in love with?
Oh, jeez. That whole Vito storyline where he leaves town and is in a whole nother city for a while.
Going to that diner over and over again because he loves the pancakes there.
And he ends up having a relationship with the guy who's flipping stuff. He's also see, these are all things I would know. He was also a volunteer firefighter while he was there and tried to get Vito to be like, I know all these details, but the pancakes, they were what they were called. Is that what we're asking?
What were they called? It's just, it sucks. I've experienced this my whole life, Scott, where the trivia person, the MC, never asks the questions that you know. They always ask the questions that you don't know.
All right, I'll call him. Let me ask you a hint here.
Sure.
Is it just another way of saying pancakes? Like,
yes, these are another term for pancakes, or another. Well, they're a kind of pancakes. They're a kind of pancakes. they're not named like for the diner that he's eating them in. Does that help?
Yes, it does. So I'm going to say the only answer I have in my head is my grandmother Wilson used to call them Johnny Cakes. Is that it?
That's exactly correct. That's what we're looking for. Yes.
Oh, that was close.
Good job.
All right. Well, you helped because I got to ask a question and it helped me get there.
Yeah, I didn't want you to think they're called Misty's Flapjacks or something like that.
Although that sounds like one of the strippers at the Bada Bing.
The Bada Bing.
Yeah, Misty's Flapjacks.
Misty's Flapjacks to the main stage.
Yeah.
Finally, last question. Let's end on a high note here. What is the name of the horse that Tony bets money on because it shares a name with his daughter?
Oh, jeez. It is.
That should give you a pretty good hint as to at least part of the name.
Yeah. The problem is Scott's brain is like scrambled eggs today.
It's a
so let's
sieve this
see.
morning. Yeah.
It's really bad. So her name. What is wrong with me? Hold on. It's like a sing-songy name, and it's just at the tip of my brain. So let me think about AJ for a minute. He's over there playing his N64.
Yep. Good job. You're thinking right. Clear the mind from the thing you're focusing on.
It starts with an S. What is her freaking name? No, it's not S. Oh, it's like out in the grass. What's that called? When you're out you're in the woods, and then you enter a clearing, and there's some deer, and you're in the thing. Oh, meadow.
Wow, it amazes me. Okay, so meadow you've got. All right, now what's the name of the horse?
Oh, but they're related. You're saying they're like
the horse is not just named Meadow; it's Meadow something.
Okay. Meadow.
Although that was fun to watch. That whole thing. It like how you get to those things blows my mind because you think of every possible thing around a synonym of the thing of the word.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, no.
You know what it is? Almost always a visual
definition,
thing. Yeah. If you notice, it's always a visual thing. It's always me constructing something visual. I can't do it the other way.
Yeah.
All right. So Meadow Runner.
Meadow Gold, like the milk.
Like the milk. Shit.
Like the milk.
Yeah, those were hard. I would have been like, hey, what did what finger did Paulie always stick out when he was pointing at something? His pinky. Why? I have a million dumb little trivial things in my head, but none of them match that. Gosh dang it! All right. Well, so how'd I do?
You got 5 correct.
Yeah.
But points-wise, like if I'm giving you points based on what Adam decided the difficulty was, then you're getting 12 points for that. For 14 questions, 12 points.
That could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse.
Could have been far worse. Yeah, could have been a lot worse.
I feel okay.
Big things.
Yeah.
Listen, like, would I do any better on a moonlighting quiz? Probably not. But.
Well, it depends, right? Like, the stuff, it depends on what you pay attention to or what sticks with you. And, E Street Band's easy. We're forgetting Bruce Springsteen's name is just me being dumb. But things like the horse name, some of the stuff you just don't pay attention to. It's just like, the horse matters. It's part of the story. It's going to happen.
Right, but it's exactly, but, the name of the boat, that sort of thing. But that said, if somebody does want to come up with a moonlighting quiz, I'm all over it. I'm in. 100% in.
Yeah, get in there. Somebody want to do that?
Do it while
Send
it's
it to
fresh
me.
in my mind.
Send it to me so Brian doesn't see it. I'll present it to him, and we're good to go. I was gonna celebrate by playing a Sopranos.
Travis Moore says, was Dr. Melfi named that because it sounds like Milfy? MILF wasn't a thing when The Sopranos started. The phrase, the term MILF.
I don't think so. 99?
I don't think so. That came after.
That feels later, yeah. All right, so let's celebrate with a clip from Junior Soprano, my favorite character on the show. Good. Or one of them, anyway. Here we go.
The real kind, not the diet shit.
All right, there you go. We have now celebrated.
Well, let's see. What was the first episode of Sopranos? Was it 2004?
No, 99. First
99.
Season.
Oh, same. Well, MILF was popularized in the movie American Pie in 1999.
Oh, weird.
So
simultaneous.
might have come around same time. So maybe.
Is that really where that came from? The term MILF came from American Pie?
It said, according to dictionary.com, MILF traces back to the early 90s, but was popularized by the 1999 comedy film American Pie.
Okay. That must be great. Those directors and producers. Are like, look what we did, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe, you know what? Who knows? Maybe Dr. Melfi was named that because somebody wanted to bang her, and they called her Milfy.
It is weird.
We need a good Milfy name, Milfy sounding name.
Yeah. And if it was Paulie, he'd be holding his fingers like this and pointing, going, this with his pinky out. Yeah. He was always doing the rock on symbol, but like this.
Right.
Love that guy.
Really? That's funny.
Oh yeah, big old freaking ring on that finger.
It's that's like a discount shocker, basically, is what that is.
Yeah, it is a discount shocker. I like that. I love Paulie. It's my favorite. But I forgot Paulie, the actor who played Paulie, what's his name? Skillieri or whatever his name is, just passed away. But he was in Goodfellas, a very small role.
Those two shocks of silver hair on either side of his head. It's like freaking Captain America's cowl up there.
I freaking loved him. And according to everybody on set, that was really what he was like. Like that dude was not playing a role. He was full on that dude. I love that.
Do you need me to take it again? No, you did just fine. You're natural at this.
Always trying to take care of his mom, and then finding out his mom isn't really his mom. Oh, he had some good storylines. I love him. And also, I forgot. What's his name? Michael Imperioli's character, Christopher, was in Goodfellas. Also, he's the
was he really?
He's the server kid that Pesci goes crazy and shoots.
Shit!
Dead in the bar. Yeah, all these guys, man. They just pulled them all from all these actual mob movies. It's great. All right, well, that was fun. I enjoyed the hell out of that. That was great.
That was fun. Yeah.
All right, we got a thing on that eating dog food thing, of course.
Oh, right. Well, they didn't really eat dog food. It was just misprinted on the menu, but yes.
Yeah, so we debunked that story, but we still got some feedback about it. And my favorite was this one. This was like a text from an anonymous person who says, "When I was younger, a person in my life wronged me in some way. Details are foggy," they say. Mm-hmm. So to get revenge, I made a meatloaf using wet dog food and served him dog food meatloaf sandwiches. Wow.
See, never trust someone who makes you food that they're not going to eat themselves with you.
Yeah, if they don't sit down and eat that with you, you are running a risk of a very specific kind.
Exactly.
Don't do it. It's like drinking poison, right? If you don't see the other, like in movies, if the other guy doesn't drink when you drink or before you drink,
unless it's iocane powder.
Yeah.
Inconceivable.
That was maybe my favorite version of that stereotype.
Yeah,
every movie does some form of that, I swear. They're all drinking, and the one guy won't drink till the other guy drinks. It's like a trope from
Why
hell.
are you laughing? It's the antidote for the poison that was in your glass.
Has there ever been a movie that holds up better than that one? It's so good.
It is a really good. Well,
movies that hold up. I have like a short list. That movie holds up. Every time I see it, it holds up. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel like it ages. Another one is Apocalypse Now. Doesn't feel like it ages to me. Mm-hmm. Feels the same now, and maybe even better because they've got remastered, beautiful versions of it now.
Sure.
2001, the other day, that felt like a movie that didn't age, even though I know there's things in it that age. Like,
yeah, I mean, well, they're predictions of space travel and that sort of thing, or their depiction, I should say, not predictions, but depiction of space travel.
Yeah, stuff was awesome. And then another one is Mad Max Fury Road. You may have heard of that. That doesn't age at all. None. Zero. Zippo.
I was wondering if we were going to get through, but we didn't make it.
I'm not even going to mention what I learned yesterday. There's some event happening in Europe where they're going to premiere a teaser.
Yeah.
And they have
Furiosa?
and they have a giant wall-sized golden. It looks like golden etching. I'm sure it's not, but it looks like it's a golden etching of a big Furiosa image with her like full roboted arm and her, all that.
Really?
It looks so badass. Oh my gosh.
I wonder if I know the majority of the movie is going to be Anya Taylor-Joy, but I wonder if we're going to get any bookends with Furiosa, like
maybe
driving and thinking about it as a flashback.
Yeah, there was talk early on that she was sad she wasn't in the next movie, she said, but I don't always believe that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they've done this before. Remember
sometimes they say that their upcoming big event movie is not going to be a two-parter, and we find out that it's a two-parter.
Yeah, I remember being surprised by that in Endgame, or not Endgame,
Infinity War.
Infinity War, the end of that, while we were in Vegas seeing that. How great was it we got to see those two movies in Vegas
together with Tadpoolers? Absolutely.
Yeah, and year after year, we got to see it right the very next year. There we were again. That was great.
Exactly. Different theater, but
freaking love that.
That second theater was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Which one had the lights that were too bright? Which one was that?
The first one, the Infinity War theater. It's like, great. I can tell that Hammond needs another Coke because now there's a bright blue light flashing in my eyes.
Yeah, that was a bad design. They got to fix that. Maybe they have fixed it. I don't know.
Yeah, Alamo Drafthouse has a forward-facing red light that you turn on when you put an order card in the slot. It's like, can I have another refill on my Coke Zero, please?
Oh, that sounds. Why does a Coke Zero sound so good right freaking now? It's morning. I shouldn't want one now.
Right. Because it's ice cold, a little fizzy, a little carbonation.
Yeah, dude.
I know you like the carbonation.
I don't have any vices. I'm a vice-free person. I really don't. So my only vice is occasionally I'm like, oh, I got to get me a Coke Zero or a Dr. Pepper Zero cherry or something. Like, it's all I've got. I don't have, the heroin or the drinking or the any of that. Not that those two are comparable. You know what I mean? I don't have vices. It's the only one I've got. So unless anyone has a better solution, that's why my garage has a bunch of Coke Zero in it. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, so Claire asks, here's Claire again, the anti. Playing the anti.
Let's hear it. What do we got?
Why can't you just get a large Coke like normal cinemas?
Oh, you mean before you go in and...
Exactly. Like basically, so Alamo Drafthouse, there is no concession stand. You go in, you sit down, you get what they serve you. They have one size for non-alcoholic drinks, and that's the size you get.
And real food,
it's pretty
by the way.
Large.
Yeah, but real food, large drink, refills when you want them.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Look, Claire, going in there and buying a tub of goo.
It's 2 hours. I'm sure you can manage.
What? That voice.
I know, yeah.
It's like Tina and the alien from Futurama together.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, Claire, you're look, I understand your love of all things old, but that's old. All right, get with the times. Get with the times.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, let's see here. Oh, we had another one. Greg from Texas wrote in.
Oh yeah, this guy.
The great state of Texas. Yesterday I learned something about Texas that blew my mind in Texas.
Tell me.
Brian, at one point, Spain owned part of Texas. Mexico owned part of Texas.
Sure.
Texas owned part of Texas because they were trying to be independent. The actual America owned part of it. Who were the other ones? France had a stake at one point, and then there was a sixth one, and I can never remember that one. This is where the term Six Flags come from, and I didn't know that till yesterday. Had no idea.
That totally makes sense.
I heard it on a podcast or something. I went to look it up. Sure enough, Six Flags comes from this weird old time where there were Six Flags. Essentially, there was a Six Flag Texas.
That's interesting. So, and the logo they have is like 6 different flags, but they're not the actual.
No.
Like you don't get a.
No.
You don't get an actual flag.
As far as I know, I don't think so. It's been a while since I've seen that flag, but I don't think so.
That's okay. That's
Isn't that
fascinating.
wild?
That is wild.
Yeah, that blew my mind. I was like, "What are we
Let's
talking
see.
about?"
I want to find the list. Here we go. Texas, Spain. I'm sorry. Spain, France, Mexico. Yeah, the Republic of Texas, the United States of America, and the Confederate States of America.
Confederate, that's right.
Oh, that's why they don't use the different flags in the logo.
Yeah.
One of them's a little on the, we don't like that flag side.
Have you ever had a conversation with somebody who claims that the South trying to secede from the nation wasn't about slavery, but it was about states' rights? Have you ever actually had that argument with anyone?
No.
Because it's a long-standing thing. You hear it all the time. They always say that. I actually talked to somebody once who was sure that this was true. Someone in the South. So it wasn't about slavery anyway. That's all just been painted that way. It was really just about states' rights. So I said to him, states' right to do what?
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yes.
And he looked at me like I was flummoxing him, and he went,
Yeah.
What do you mean? I go, what were the rights they were trying to retain?
Exactly.
And he goes,
Right.
well, all kinds of rights. It should be all right. And I'm like, no, the right to own
there
slaves.
might have been one particular right that the South was fighting for.
One very specific right.
Yeah.
That was very wrong. Anyway. All right, Brian. This thing from Greg. Sorry, we didn't get to it.
Yeah, Greg. Yes, please.
Greg from Texas says, really hate to add to the discussion of pronunciations, but... Or would you say boot if you pronounce that?
Bootanese.
Impossible not to say.
I find that anything between the phrase really hate to and but is usually a lie.
Yeah, usually.
Basically.
At least 74% of this is a lie.
I really hate to be the bearer of bad news. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a real but actually. Anyway, says the aluminium versus aluminum thing.
Sure.
Both are right because there are two different spellings. And the maintenance example would only be relevant if we pronounced it maintenance. Greg from Texas.
So this stemmed from the boy versus buoy thing, right?
It did, yeah, originally, I think. I think everything.
I remember the maintenance thing. I remember there was an example that I cited that was it was buoyancy, because you say buoyancy, you don't say buoyancy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the example. I don't remember the maintenance example.
So what's the? I'm trying to see what the subtle misspelling I got. Oh, the I at the IUM at the end of aluminium.
Yes, aluminium. It does have an I. The American spelling doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The word that I was thinking about the other day was like, well, that's a dumb. We really should have two different spellings or a different way of writing this one. But the word duplicate or duplicate is spelled exactly the same. It's just pronounced differently, whether it's a verb or a noun.
Right.
Duplicate or duplicate.
Duplicate.
And so that's a word where you have to completely rely on context to figure out how it's pronounced.
Right. No, you're right. Same with two, and two, and two. All of those have.
Sure, but those are all spelled differently.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
If you're reading duplicate.
Oh, right. There's your context if you're reading. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But if you're talking, we sound
obviously
weird.
It's saying, yeah, it's no, this ID is a duplicate.
Yeah, you go to Taiwan and
Wait
say,
a minute. Or do you mean duplicate or a duplicate? Oh, yeah, minute and minute is good too, yeah.
Minute?
It's time and small.
Oh, yeah. And they're spelled the same.
They're basically live and live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Data,
live,
data.
live.
Although data and data is just pronouncing it. It means the same thing no matter how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
But duplicate and duplicate are the same thing, but one's the noun, one's a verb.
Did anyone ever question if Live, the band Live, was live?
It was called live.
Yeah, and they just never clarified. No one asked.
No, I don't know if I bet somebody has to have at some point. Oh, we're opening for the band Live tonight. It's going to be great.
See, Live, I kind of prefer it, to be honest. If it's Live.
Yeah, there's the In Excess live album, which is called Live Baby Live, but is it pronounced Live Baby Live because that's the line in New Sensation?
Oh, right.
Live Baby Live. Now that the night is over.
Yeah. I don't know. That just makes me want to hang myself in a closet with my pants down.
Now.
Just kidding. It's too soon. Too soon.
Maybe if you were close friends with Bob Geldof, you'd understand what he could do to people.
Is that what
Bob
happened?
Geldof.
Did they blame Geldof for that?
Geldof was with was it Trudy? No, who's Michael Hutchins's? They were. It was over a woman.
I didn't know any
Trudy?
of this.
Why is the name Trudy coming to mind?
I don't know. Was she just another brick in the wall for that guy? It's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut.
Yeah.
For people who haven't seen the movie, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the movie The Wall, based on the Pink Floyd album The Wall, then you have no idea why Geldof is being brought up in conjunction with The Wall.
Yeah. Let's see.
So
Paula Yates. That's right. It was Paula, not Trudy.
Paula. What was the deal with him? So they were rivals with a girl or something? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So she was married, or she was the baby mama of Hutchins's daughter, Tiger Lily, and I think it was there was like some sort of I wanted her to be with me, don't want her to be with him kind of thing. But she had left him for Bob Geldof.
Oh, weird. Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Put the two of those guys side by side and see if you'd make the same choice. By the way, her full name is Heavenly Hirani Tiger Lily Hutchins Geldof.
That's trouble right there. Everything about that is trouble.
That is so much name.
Yeah, I don't love it. That's crazy. Also, Bob Geldof, that guy looked like the... How do I explain this? If you put... if you took Bob... who's the other Bob?
Newhart?
No.
Dylan.
Dylan, thank you. Gosh dang it. If you took Bob Dylan... but then rubbed his face really hard on a brick wall for about an hour.
Oh, geez.
You'd get Bob Geldof. That's what you'd get.
There's a new documentary called Paula, which is all about Paula Yates. Oh, that's right. She was a TV presenter. So let's see. She was...
like UK presenter person?
Yeah, UK TV presenter.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I've never heard of this woman till today.
Yeah, she was with Michael Hutchins, and she left him for Bob Geldof, I think, something like that. Sounds like I need to watch the Paula Yates documentary to find out how all that happened. But it was all...
Claire just called me ugly, by the way. Inadvertently.
Oh, no, really?
Inadvertently, because she said glass houses when I'm making fun of Bob Geldof's face.
Well,
that's her way of saying, oh, well, look at you. Look in the mirror there, buddy. That's what she said.
Wow, I'll ban and kick right there.
See you later. Ban, kick.
Problem solved. No more telling me how I should live my movie theater life.
That's right.
Listen, which one of us was on TV as moviegoer? This guy right here, Claire.
That's right.
So who's the authority?
Yeah, who's got that on their resume? Not Claire Gack.
There's no Claire Gack, moviegoer.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could find that clip so I could just capture that frame out. Brian Ibbott, moviegoer.
Oh, you really should. Where is it? Yeah. Do we not have it handy? Can you not get it?
I don't think we have it handy. I don't think I should have downloaded that video. It's not even available on their website anymore. They've cleared out stories older than a certain year, unfortunately.
By the way, that reminds me. I was watching Dr. Sleep around Halloween with Kim. She loved it.
Yeah.
Loved that movie. I did too. Seen it twice, but second time for me,
nice.
First time for her. And we get done with it, or we're in the middle of it, and I said, I paused the movie. This is true. Can't believe I didn't tell you this. I paused the movie and I look over to Kim. I go, you realize that Ewan McGregor is playing an older version of what could have been Brian Ibbott.
Right. Yeah. You said this when we first started watching, or when you first watched.
When I first saw it, yeah. And I took a moment to actually pause the thing on a big old fat Xbox Series X controller, just to tell my wife that, hey, can you imagine Obi-Wan Kenobi being the future Brian Ibbott? Like, I had all this.
Crazy.
Yeah,
right.
It's just
I know.
crazy.
But that would have been a great claim to fame, right? It's less about me riding a big wheel through the Overlook Hotel, but more about, guess who plays the older version of me? Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan, baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. At some point, I need to. Do I find one? I was gonna say I need to send you a. What made me think of this? Holy crap! Oh, it was finding clips from that news article.
Oh, right.
Because they've got another reporter on that show who sounds just like Alex, whose voice you don't like.
Oh, Alex from
America's Next Top Podcaster.
From a certain podcaster event show, and then also just always hear it in my head when I sleep and all that stuff. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yep.
Wow. I don't know what happened to Alex. Hasn't been in our chat room in ages, so I don't know what he's up to. Did I finally offend him enough with me teasing him about?
No, he's just really busy, I'm sure.
Okay, he's got kids.
I'm gonna see if I can find. So this reporter named Mark Salinger.
Yeah.
Nope, not that one. I was gonna find you. I hear this guy, and it's like, oh, that's freaking Alex Albisu right there, Mark Salinger. This is such a rabbit hole. We're never going to get any news done today.
No, we're not.
Never any
news done. It's okay,
though.
We might get one story. We might do that.
Maybe. Let's see here.
I like when we go down rabbit holes, though. I'm a rabbit hole kind of guy. I like it.
Yeah.
I like to spend time in that hole. I like to see other rabbits, other rabbits around.
Let's see if this one has... I'm going to find the...
Yeah.
No,
not there.
Hold on.
This is like when I was Scott Peterson on that news.
Here we go. All right, I'm giving you a link.
Okay, give it.
Start this video at about 43 seconds, and you'll
right.
hear Alex Elbisu talking about an overturned truck in carrying torpedoes in Denver.
Okay, that's going to weird me out. 43, you say?
Yeah, so 43 seconds.
Okay, here we go. 40. I'll put it at 41 just to be safe.
And torpedoes headed for a submarine base in Connecticut lay bruised along the busiest highways in the city.
Are you kidding me?
You're like, how is that not Alex Elvisu right there?
100% that's his voice.
Yeah.
You could have lied to me and said he did a news story.
That it was really Alex Elvisu.
And I would have believed you. Yeah, I would have believed you. Damn, dude.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I talk to Alex all the time, Chad. He's not mad at me. We're just...
No, of course not.
I
heard from him talking about joining the Filthy Casuals raid team again when I get back into WoW, and I will totally do that.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? They seem to be kicking. They want me to play more of that, what's that scary game? Phasmophobia.
Oh, God, Alex loves that game.
He loves that, and he loved torturing me the first time.
He loves making people play it, watching them react to it.
Yeah, because I'm terrified in that game. It's no good for me. All right, we're going to do one quick news story.
Yep.
And here's the thing for it. Hey, look, it's the news brought to you by...
Brought to you by Coverville. Yeah, today at noon, because class is not back in session until next week. So don't worry. Oh, no, I'm doing this anyway because class is... do I do it? No, I guess, yeah. Next week it'll be after class. Yes, right. Okay.
Oh, right.
This week, back to still at noon, Damien Rice. He's an Irish singer, that Damien Rice. A lot of people, that's why I'm wearing Ireland today. Because a lot of people don't know Damien Rice here in the States. Huge in Ireland. He was part of a group called Juniper. Went solo. Really, really amazing vocalist. Anyway, he's turning 50, and a lot of people have covered him. Surprising number of people have covered him. So you're going to hear covers on the show today, covers by folks like Obadiah Parker, Donna Lewis. Remember Donna Lewis? I love you always, forever.
Oh, I know that song. Yeah.
Scala and Kalachny Brothers and Natalie Imbruglia.
Wow.
All covering Damien Rice, and who's going to cover folks like Sia and Radiohead. All this and more coming up today at noon Mountain Time, twitch.tv/Coverville.
Nice. He's from Selbridge, Ireland originally, and now resides in... No, he's born in Dublin.
Born in Dublin, but now, Selbridge. Yeah. Shane MacGowan died, yes, of the Pogues, lead singer of the Pogues. There will be a Pogues... probably a Pogues set in dedication. Again, not a lot of Pogues covers in my library, surprisingly, but it's the best time of year to play one particular Pogues song that is probably the best known song by the Pogues in tribute to Shane MacGowan.
Nice. All these people dying, man. What's the deal?
What's the deal?
Although, I'm not losing any sleep over Kissinger dying last night. That's fine. Whatever. Henry Kissinger finally shuffled off at age 100.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Done. War criminal a-hole. All right, let's move on.
Exactly. Yep.
Quick story. Jailed Russians are forced to listen to Bon Jovi and Moby songs on repeat. This is the torture they get.
Doesn't sound so bad. It's way better than listening to Screamo, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean... I don't like
Wasn't
Bon Jovi.
That's what they were making listen to in Guantanamo, right? Was like Screamo, or was it Never Gonna Give You Up on Repeat or something? There was something that was like
some heinous
felt really cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, they definitely did Screamo for the Branch Davidian siege. They were trying to.
Oh right,
yes,
out. Right.
Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
One of Russia's strictest prisons has a playlist of songs it plays to inmates every morning over loudspeakers, according to an inmate. The playlist includes multiple Bon Jovi songs, hits by DJ Moby. Is that what we're calling him now? DJ Moby?
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine.
DJ.
That's fine. I just have never heard anyone call him DJ Moby before.
DJ, well, it's just funny, like having, like, if you said a DJ named Moby, then yeah, okay, but the fact, yo, DJ Moby here,
yeah, in the house,
coming at you with some porcelain, boy. Wiki.
Also, it said
the South Side, yo, what's up?
They kind of buried the headline. It says, and even AC/DC's Thunderstruck. I like that song.
Yeah, so far none of these are problems. Listen, I voluntarily listened to Bon Jovi, Moby, and AC/DC.
Mm-hmm. I guess it was a real problem. They say later during the COVID quarantine, they really blared it in there, like on repeat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But still.
doesn't
Well, all
sound
right.
that bad.
I guess over and over again. But then it's like, oh, I'm picking up new things in this song that I haven't noticed before. Thank you for doing this. I'd be like,
man.
oh no, not those songs. Oh,
Moby I could deal with. I
no.
think too much Bon Jovi would drive me nuts because Slippery When Wet doesn't have too many. That album doesn't have a lot of nuance. It's just
No,
sort of
really
what it
doesn't.
is.
Actually,
I'm a cowboy. It's like,
well, I was
okay.
gonna say anything in the past 15 years from Bon Jovi, and this, I may get some hate mail for this, but is so pandery, country, jingoistic, rah-rah.
It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Not a lot of nuance. Not a lot of depth.
No,
It's fine.
exactly.
John, you seem like a nice guy.
I'm working hard in a factory, coming home to bring money to my family.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of where
But like
it's
this,
at.
it's like,
Where'd Richie Sambora end up?
hey, blue collar workers, this song's for you.
That's right. It's right on his sleeves. He wears it on his sleeves. Where'd Richie Sambora end up? Is there still a Bon Jovi band?
Somewhere buried under Heather Locklear. No, I don't know.
Oh, that's right. They were together. Forget
Yeah,
about that.
not anymore though.
Nope. Done.
I don't know what what's Richie Sambora doing these
What?
days?
You know he's got talent, you know?
He's 64 years old. Oh,
Yeah.
he was with Heather Locklear until 2007. I thought it was
Oh, wow.
yeah, I thought it was less time than that. 94 to 2007 is a pretty long stretch.
Says he is, let's see, solo work.
I imagine he just sits back and collects royalty checks, probably.
Probably. Let's see here. Studio albums. Last thing he produced was in 2013. Oh, no, I'm sorry. With RSO.
Yeah, Richie Sambora Orchestra?
Is that
Richie
it?
Sambora
Okay.
Organization?
There was an album in 2018 was the last thing he did.
The Richie Sambora Occupation.
Yeah. So look for it by name. All right, we're going to take a
Yes.
break. When we come back, my sister Wendy will be here. We got an email from a listener. We're going to go over it and talk about it. It'd be great to have her back since we missed her on Thanksgiving. It was also her birthday since then, so we can wish her a little happy birthday. And my wife's birthday was yesterday. All these birthdays. And she's not even here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot to wish Kim a happy birthday. Is she back from her trip or is she still on it?
Tomorrow night. So I get her back tomorrow night. Finally, my life can resume as normal.
What have you been eating so far? Anything out of the ordinary?
Some frozen dinner stuff, but they're all good ones, like veggies in them. I tried to be good
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah,
I think
very
I did
good.
okay.
Good for you, man.
I did
well
all
done.
right. I didn't do anything too stupid. No full pizzas or anything dumb like that. I did all right. Anyway, that'll be after this song selection Brian brought. So, Brian, what do you have today?
Sure. Well, we've had some people say, play enough rap, Brian, and they say it just like that. And I say to them, oh, your voice is funny and weird, but you're right. Okay, fair enough. This is some rap, some hip hop, but still has a really cool soul vibe. Listen, there's certain amounts of rap and hip hop that I like, and certain kinds that I don't like. And what I play on the show, it comes right down to what I like, and then that little subset from there of what I think everyone else will like. So we start with here's what Brian likes.
Yep.
And then there's what the audience would like, and it's that little middle of the Venn diagram that I play here on the show.
Sure.
It's a large Venn diagram, really. There's a lot of stuff. This is a brand new single from Ella Eyre, E-L-L-A, Ella, E-Y-R-E. This brand new single featuring Tiggs the Author, out now via Play It Again, Sam. This is a single that was written in a creative crossroads at Ella's career, kind of a brand new start for her, and she's releasing music as an independent artist for the very first time. This is the song Head in the Ground. Here's Ella Eyre and Tiggs the Author.
Oakley dokley.
Tudo bem, senhorzinho?
Perfectirijillo.
De acuerdito.
Oui, dakodak.
Certo, Zino.
Pagatta yung resta. Okay.
Watch as Windows integrates Lotus 123 with Miami Vice.
And we've returned. Who was that? One more time.
Sure, that was, I'm going to say this as white as I can, Ella Eyre and Tiggs the Author with a brand new song called Head in the Ground. That's a brand new single that just came out from the two of them.
Nice. So for anyone in the chat wondering, this thing right here.
Oakley dokley.
So all the subsequent ones were different languages of, or sorry, translations or dubs of whenever Ned Flanders says Oakley dokley, it's other countries saying it.
Every different language, like basically here are the different versions of Ned in every language.
Yeah, and if you listen to this one, I mean, they're all, I don't know what even some of these are.
De acuerdito.
Right? Like, who knows? But Germans?
That first one sounded Japanese for
yeah.
sure.
Now listen to what the Germans say.
Oakley dokley.
They just say the thing. They just say it with a German accent. I love it.
They do. Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, sometimes Oakley dokley doesn't need to be translated into anything else.
No, it's fine on its own. Let's get Wendy in.
Yeah.
Wendy in. Yeah, we'll add her to the call. We'll do this. We'll have some fun. We'll learn some things. I'll probably say something dumb, and then she'll make fun of it. That's what you do. It's what you get from your little sister.
I'll explain the situation to Wendy. Don't worry.
You know, the older you get, it's weird to refer to your siblings as your little sister, even though they're like full adults and stuff.
Right.
Anyway, Wendy, hi, hello.
I don't think that's weird.
It's got to be even weirder for her.
Yeah, probably even weirder for Wendy. Oh, what mic are you on? You sound like you're a mile away. Where are you right now?
I don't know. Oh, you know what? Is it doing what it did last time?
I think it did. Yeah, I think it's on the same.
Okay, hold on.
Easier to tell this time, though, because I think your phone was in a muffled place.
Okay, how's that? Is that better?
Much better.
Much better.
Yep. I can tell you're on the one you want to be on now.
Yay.
Yay.
How was
My phone
Thanksgiving?
thinks it's funny.
Thanksgiving was all right? You guys
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah? Somebody stole
Great, we went-
the thing, though. Our Wishbone got taken.
Oh, it really got taken
Oh,
on.
I don't know who did it. We had like 30 people at Misha's, and I went over there to check the carcass like I always do every year.
Yeah.
And the carcass was missing the Wishbone. It was gone.
What?
I know. And I asked Misha, I don't know where that went. And nobody knew. Nobody had any idea. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Because who even takes that off? That takes work.
Right,
That
that's
doesn't
work.
make sense.
Exactly.
It does
like,
take
you've got to
work.
know you're doing it and have a reason for doing it.
Yeah,
Why
I was
wouldn't
kind of mad, but then I also realized there's a lot of little kids now, and I think maybe somebody was having some fun or whatever. Here's some advice. When you're so Thatcher's kids are blowing up balloons as big as they can get them, trying not to explode them. But they explode anyway.
For disaster. Yeah.
And their kids are like, I don't know, they're 5, 6, something, the oldest. And they kept blowing them up. And I started to notice when they would explode that a fine mist would go everywhere because kids are spitting in these balloons, right? Because they don't even know they're doing it.
Sure.
And now there's at least 6 people who've all come down with some kind of something, Carter included.
Oh, it's just basically an airborne toxic event.
Yeah.
Was the
Yeah. So I have regrets about what happened that day.
Oh,
And I'm pretty sure they stole my Wishbone. But it's fine. They're cute kids and they're sweet and whatever. I somehow dodged it.
They are petri dishes. I have noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone keeps getting the diseases when the little ones are around. That's how it works. You guys are just living in a daycare.
Yeah.
That's what that
You
is.
got to build up your immune system, I guess.
I know.
And we're the victims
That's awesome.
of it. Anyway, well, I'm glad yours was good. Also, happy birthday. We missed
good.
it, but
Thank you.
hope it went
I know,
well.
you
happy
missed it.
birthday.
I guess we didn't
Thank
miss it.
you.
I called you that day, or I texted you that day. didn't
You did. You did a good job. In fact, Mark called me like
Whoa.
a FaceTime, like
What?
I'm his grandchild. It was
Whoa.
very weird.
What? That is weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was great. I was like, whoa, why is he calling? And I realized it was my birthday.
I didn't even get a text. I didn't even get a text from him on my birthday this year. Mark's
I
got
know.
playing favorites.
Oh
Hit
no.
and miss.
Well, I guess
Hit
we
and
know who
miss.
the favorite is.
Yeah. Wendy was always the favorite.
It is hit and miss. No, it was a great birthday. In fact, we had a Real Steps meeting, and so everyone ate a little piece of cake in my honor, and it was very fun.
How did they all have? How did they all
so
have
cute.
cake? Did they all have separate cake? Like
Yeah, I told everyone to bring their favorite treat, and then we eat mindfully in Real
Let
Steps.
them bring cake, I
Yeah.
think is what Wendy said.
oh,
And someone had
mindful-
like a
yeah.
candle. It was very cute. So it was a good birthday.
Mindful eating is really the thing, isn't it? It's something you need to do.
Yeah.
You got to work on
Yeah,
it.
it's
I remember that was
none
one of
of
the
us are
first
good at it.
the first things I remember doing for Therapy Thursday was like we had a banana and we had to
Yeah.
very carefully consider the banana, open it,
Yeah.
and then take one bite and just think about everything that it took to get that banana into your hands.
And I can tell you, I learned everything I needed to from that experience, and absolutely do it every time I eat now, without fail.
I don't peel the banana and try to shove 2/3 of it in my mouth all at once. I totally don't do that anymore. Yeah.
That's great.
By the way, the food industry has, at least in the marketing parts of it, this is really very important to make billions of dollars, is you have to have the 3 V's. You have to have volume. So like a ton of it. And then variety, meaning a million different flavors. Just think cereal aisle.
Sure.
And then the last one is velocity. You have to be able to eat it fast. So it's literally the opposite of what
you should
many
be doing.
people are working on every day, is to get you to eat fast. And so it's one and done is definitely not what's happening.
we got a culture problem, food culture problem.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. But look at you over there solving it one meeting at a time.
One
it's got to
birthday
be
at a
salty.
time.
It's got to be fattening, and you have to be able to eat it in 4 seconds.
That's right. And it needs 14 ounces of sugar for every bite. All right, let's get to the email that you sent me. So you sent this a couple of weeks ago as a thing that we would hit, and so we're going to do it now. I'm going to go ahead and read it. There's no name associated with this, so I'm just going to read it as if it's an anonymous person, which it is.
It is, sure.
They say this. Online dating is our subject. In 2011 to 2012, living in New York, I hadn't gotten sober yet. Online dating was like shooting fish in a barrel. It was far too easy to hook up with someone. It felt transactional. It was kind of my first step to getting sober. There is a Weezer song called Tired of Sex. It essentially distills that period of my life. This isn't bragging and not something I'm proud of, but yeah, online dating for me was toxic and accelerated my drinking. You meet out for a drink, and it's your place or mine. You might text 1 or 2 times afterward out of courtesy, then it was on to the next. After I got into a committed relationship with someone to whom I am now married, I worked in an office with mostly women, and at lunch I would listen to their stories about online dating, how the platform changed with questions like, he already wants to move in, I'd like to run.
I'd be like, run.
Oh, I'd be like, run. Like he wants to tell them to run. So that's the whole of it. I mean, obviously this is part of a larger, I assume a larger email that you got, but this is the chunk you sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talked about online dating before and
Right.
just kind of some of that. And so we put it in the universe, and someone wrote in and just said, this was my experience.
That's
Remember
right.
that?
Okay.
Yes.
I was wondering what the
Sorry, I didn't give you the
source
context. Yes. Yep. Okay. And so the idea of the online dating has changed, right? It is no longer the fun 2010 version.
I don't know. Everything you described sounds pretty fun.
Sounds super fun and led to lots of challenges. Yeah.
Sure.
And I mean, even just then, though, it was sort of like still living. I mean, New York City, too, is going to be its own version of dating life as well. Yeah. But just this like, it was a way to meet new people and hook up and whatever. Like it wasn't the only way people meet each other like it is. Often I'm hearing that now, right? So, what I thought I'd do today is just sort of talk generally about. I'll switch all sorts of things up so you can never identify these people, but just some of my clients' experiences with dating and online dating and how that's sort of changed, but also like what are some really practical ways to manage this. So, this person's example is less like I could just hook up all the time. It was great. I got bored, and then hearing about it later when they were committed and realizing like, oh no, this is, what are you guys doing on this app? Yeah. And it's more serious relationships happening, right? It kind of illustrates the transition that it's had over time. Mm-hmm. But I bring up the velocity, the volume, and the whatever thing with food industry, because it's actually very similar in terms of how lots of things have transitioned in sort of modern, at least modern American life, I would assume in lots of places. But as more people work on marketing a thing, or more people, more money is made in sort of things that, think about Twitter. What even was that when it started, right? Like, hey, guess what? Let's have a place where we chat, and you only have this many letters to write.
Yeah, yeah. It was it's a very different than what it's used for today. For sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And so it starts as a thing and morphs into a thing. And usually why anything does so much morphing is time plus, there's a actual mathematical formula, time plus money and a million more people working on it. and lots of shifting and ideas and all sorts of things to make more money, right? It literally is how do we get more of this? So think of the dating apps as something similar. Someone at some point, I didn't look up the history, but I'm sure whoever started putting some of this online, we've had matchmakers for a long time. There's
video dating and stuff in the 80s and all that. I mean, what
Great Expectations? Is that what the one was called?
Great Expectations.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Please sing it.
It was like a thing you'd see like infomercials for it and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I just remember their little two adjoining hearts logo.
Yeah. I remember that.
So nothing new here to be seen, right? Except for we never had technology that worked the way it does now or has sped up or algorithms or bots. Now imagine any of those dating resources where there were bots. They'd have to be like real people faking a whole thing, as opposed to
it's different.
Someone else sending out 1,000.
Well, let me ask you a quick question. Like, is the difference between, and maybe we'll end up getting to this, so maybe I'm jumping the gun, but like when he says he hears these people at work talking about online dating and his inclinations to say run and get away, wouldn't there have been another generation that it was people in the office talking about bar hopping, and the other guy who did a lot of that turns to them and says run away? Like, it's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yes,
sort of?
It's old man dad was saying his wisdom when it's too late.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone will learn the way they learn. And I think I think for me, just clinically working with people from the onset of online dating apps, it was just like the person and I would share the horror of how is this going to be a good thing? Like for me, it was just like, whoa, you need more organic interaction. You need someone to have set you up or a place you already like to go. Like it's built into your life. The adding, especially depending on the person and what they were going through, just some lack of safety, right? Like remember, this happened the other day. I bought something with my credit card online and I thought, I remember the first time doing this and thinking, well, I'm screwed. I'm going to be robbed for life. Like this is not safe to do, So early days in online dating, it was like, you must be desperate. That the sort of stigma was you must be desperate and it's not safe. Right.
Yeah.
And then as like the ubiquity of it grew and more people were on and certain companies were doing certain different things, people were having a pretty good time. Obviously, this guy was having a good time in the New York area. But they were just meeting other people who were a little more tech forward, I think. And, lots of people met, their future partner forever. And like, there's some good stories. In fact, I had some clients who were featured in a New York Times article once about being like, oh, it can actually work, Yeah. And so lots of just different experiences people were having, plus still meeting people at the office, right? Remote work was not quite a full thing in the early 2000s and the 2010s.
Nope.
And so you just had some of the old fashioned ways were still sort of working or, sort of working. But if you ask anyone today who is single and trying to date and maybe has a remote office job or, lives in a town that doesn't have a ton of people, what is the way to date? They will say there are only two options. Yeah. One is online and one is to go to the local bar. Those are your only two options. And that limits you in ways that, feel pretty frustrating, right?
Yeah. Feels very limiting in a way that it hasn't ever felt.
Right, because you're typically only going to meet people who drink or are on those apps for sex.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or primarily,
primarily, or are confused about why they're on the app. And so this is if I could create a program for people, this is based on sort of lots of people I've worked with. There'd be a couple of things that I would do if you are in this category. So for many of you, just like, oh, this doesn't apply to me. But if this does apply to you, here's a little bit of gold, you guys. Here we go.
All right.
There is this feeling, and this is everyone will report this to me. It's just like dread. They don't want to get on. They don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And there's reasons, but they also have to get on in order to partner up because that's what they actually do want. And so it's a pretty significant conflict. And one of the reasons you don't want to is either you're getting rejected or, it's not going well. You're getting catfished. That happens by bots and other people. There's those just basic like self-esteem stabbing kinds of difficulties. And then there is also like, if you get on and get attention, now you've got, communication that is very weird and superficial and
sometimes unwanted for long periods of time.
Yeah, and or just getting ghosted for no reason, really.
Right.
As you think it's, so your hopes are getting dashed all the time. All sorts of just. It is a emotional roller coaster that you're paying to be on.
Right.
Which is tricky, and it's exploiting your loneliness and desire to be, with other people, and so it's fraught, right? Okay. Right. So there's a couple of things I have people do if you are going to be pursuing this in your life. First of all, nobody wants to buy anyone they hardly know a Christmas present, so just plan on doing this in January, okay?
Yeah.
And that is get someone you know and love to give you some feedback on your profile. Somebody you trust. Now, that may be difficult to find someone like that, but maybe even you might think, oh, somebody's been married a long time, they're going to have no clue or something, right? But just like, who do you trust to eyeball this? Because there's a couple things, and you can read any article about what works and what doesn't. It's marketing. You are marketing yourself, and that feels icky. I'm sure it does for many people, right?
Yeah.
But a picture of you with a giant fish, dudes, is not what you think it is.
Shirtless, holding a baby tiger? No.
That's better than a fish.
Okay.
Or a deer holding up a rack of a deer you shot.
Oh God, yeah, right.
Yeah. So just don't do that, and check with someone.
Here's the thing, though. In those cases, it does weed out the people very quickly who don't want that, right?
Like if somebody wants that, then you're
trying to decide on who I'm going to follow on Twitter. And it's like, sitting in the bed of their truck with a baseball cap and reflective rainbow sunglasses. Probably not a person that I'm going to follow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's part of what the problem we're running into, right? Is that we make our judgments. Because here's the beautiful thing about every relationship I've ever got the privilege to witness up close, including my own and everyone I know. And that is, some opposites absolutely need to be there. Some differences, that's why we're attracted to somebody else. Now, I don't know if it's 100% your truck situation and your Prius situation, but we make such quick snap judgments. We're using all of our worst brain abilities to try to find a thing that really requires some magic, right? So it is tricky, but I'm telling you, there are just a couple things you can do to have a better shot. And that is have someone, just anyone with some taste, anyone with some experience with humans, run through your thing. So I'll give you an example. I worked with somebody who was so lovely and was not getting anyone to match with her. And it made no sense from a physical standpoint. Very attractive, lots of great pictures. And then I was like, and this was early days of whatever it was, Tinder, I guess. And I said, can I see what you wrote?
Yeah.
And no lie, this woman was in her early 40s and she had so many exclamation points on her thing. And I was like, oh, you sound like you're 16.
Right. And I love puppies. I love going
to the movies. The sky. Like it just, and she's really bright, but she was used to being around a lot of like Barbies. She was not a Barbie herself. And so I think she saw them get lots of attention and she just acted like them or something. I don't know. So no lie, you guys, I just rewrote it for her real quick. I was like, come here. Let me just try this. This was before I was more professional. But anyway, I rewrote it and I took all the exclamation points out and dropped a couple things that just made her seem really immature. And I knew her well. She's not immature. It was weird. Yeah. So anyway, we push publish, and by the end of the session, she checks again and gets like 20 matches. And I was like, okay, here's the thing. Some filter is like, person is not safe or something's wrong here. Anyway, so lots of good experiences just by tweaking that. I've had another client just do pictures better, right? Same person, and update your pictures. None of this lying. Don't have a picture when you were 21 and then you're 36 and we all went through a pandemic. We know,
Don't use that Mid-Journey AI generated photo that makes you look like somewhere between you and George Clooney.
Don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that. Be honest, but also you don't have to take a picture from low, so you have 40 chins in it. You could take a picture from a little higher, so you only have 2 chins, you know?
Sure.
Like
So you only have 2.
there's a way. There's a way to just kind of feel good about yourself in those pictures and not be false advertising.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are kind of content, some things, right? And then here is the most important stuff. If you're not getting any attention at all after you do those tweaks, then let's go to a bar. Find it, because that is what these things are built for. And to stay around and just be miserable, you got to really decide, like, is this misery worth it? And the more miserable you are, the less actually attractive you are to yourself and your own life, let alone to somebody else, right? So maybe this is where we employ hobbies and do other things, right? And find people who love the same hobby as you. And that's a great place to meet people, which you should be doing anyway. And that's actually my bigger point here, is if you utilize online dating and you have a love-hate toxic relationship with these apps, we need to break you up with the app. So get off for a couple weeks. And then when it's time to get back on, you have to behave very differently and you need support. So either you get a friend, you get your therapist on this, whoever is going to be able to tell you the hard facts, you need them on your team. And that is to keep you to some structure. And this has helped many people I've worked with. You have rules that you follow. Instead of letting the algorithm and the way the technology is designed decide your life, you decide how you will use these apps. These are a tool for you as opposed to you are a tool on these apps. Okay. Oh, that was a good one. Anyway,
I like that.
All right,
That's good. Write that down. That's a book.
I know.
Or something.
I use tool in the offensive way. Anyway, but so this idea is that you would give yourself a time limit that and it only goes in certain parts of your life. Okay, so maybe you will swipe a bunch and then you go to have your whole work day and then you look at it at the end of the day, right? So you kind of keep it time blocked so it's not just this constant thing. And here's the key. I've worked with a lot of women who will have a lot of conversations starting. And so we have found a magic number of you cannot, because we're not humanly made to do more than this, have more than 3 people you're talking to, preferably 2. 1 is great. And instead of keep swiping, it's like you're watching your favorite show on Netflix, but every once in a while you stop and then can look at what other things are also on Netflix.
That's a weird thing, isn't it?
It is a weird thing, and it is not how we are built.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that.
That is, first of all, just attention-wise, not even like monogamy-wise. I don't even mean that. I mean attention-wise, right? So you have 1, 2, 3 max people you're speaking or you're chatting with, and you do not swipe anymore after that. And I know these apps will show you different ways to get your attention and get you to keep going. I know that. So this is about deciding you're going to do this differently and just test it out, just an experiment. Even if you did this for 1 month, I'm telling you, you're going to see something happen. Okay. Yeah. So you limit it to 3 people. And then here's the key. Those 3 people, you make it, now you don't have to get weird, but you just need to make it a little real, a little more fast, right? And the key is to get off the app as fast as you can.
Okay.
The app is your finding tool. The app is not your calendar and your Gmail. You don't want to stay there.
Yeah.
You want to find a person and move it to let's have lunch. So and I work with men and women on this, and it's been more for the women that this has been really important, but men have found this very successful too, because it manages, if it's a heterosexual situation, that you are meeting for lunch in a public place. You just automatically do that. Like that just needs to be your rule. Right. That it's lunch because there's a time limit. Yep. So if it's a terrible day, great. But you have moved off the app.
And it's not at the end of the day, like it's not dinner where, well, what are you doing after this? I guess we're
100%.
going back and having sex.
Yeah.
100%. And it's also like, how do I get out of this? When does this end? Well, you know when it ends because lunch ends and you have to go to work.
Why is it only heterosexual? Why not?
And you don't typically drink at lunch, typically.
That's true, yeah. Why only heterosexual? Why not everything?
No, I'm just saying, if it's a heterosexual situation, women need to probably be more careful physically where they put themselves in space and time.
See what you're saying. Yeah.
Meeting a total stranger.
Yep.
Men obviously would need to be careful about that same thing. And so that's why when I say in heterosexual dynamics, I just tell men who are heterosexual, just automatically be cool and offer a lunch date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like skip the crap.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's fascinating. Abe came home for Thanksgiving and he was talking. He's a big boy and he walked up. It was late and dark, and he had to go to somewhere across the street somewhere. And so he walked up to a stop light, where you're what are they? Not passengers, pedestrians are walking.
Yeah.
And he kind of came around a corner, so it sort of felt like he kind of maybe suddenly appeared. And this woman next to him, like, kind of scoots over, starts to have this reaction, like, do I need to protect myself? And he's like, it sucks so bad for you guys. I'm like, yeah, it freaking does.
Yeah,
and he goes, and what? I can't say anything like, I'm not going to hurt you.
Yeah, I know. It's even weirder if you say something, right?
There's no way to like be like, I'm good. I'm a good person. I promise. I'll fight anyone if they bother. Like he can't do anything.
Yeah.
He just,
it's hard.
Stepped away.
You guys got to picture this. Abe is my height. So he's about 6'3", right? 6'4", something like that.
6'3".
And, but unlike me, freaking ripped. Just like
his weight is on the shoulders, not so much the middle.
big old shoulders.
He's
been lifting. He's young. He's all that. He's very handsome. He's a good-looking kid, but he would intimidate anybody walking around that corner.
Yeah, he would. And then he's got like a hat on and it's dark. And I'm like, you need a, I don't know, I'm a good guy card. There's nothing you can do, right?
Yeah.
Other than really truly be a good person.
Yeah.
But that recognition is like real. And so just know that, dudes. Just assume that, especially for heterosexual relationships. Other dynamics are going to be maybe different and you might have a sense of that, but just trust me on that one. And then women in particular, that's just smarter, just generally, because the internet is the internet, right? So public place, a lunch, you've moved off the app pretty quick. If people will not move off the app, sometimes they're bots. And sometimes they are on the app for certain reasons. And this is why I have people get off as soon as possible, is I think that app changes people. I think it does. I really think it makes them way more cynical. And I know really amazing quality human beings on there. And I'm telling you, they get on and they get off because they can't stand it. Then they get back on because they feel like there's no other choice. Then they get off. The lucky thing was if two people like that could get on at the same time and meet and then get off the app, that would be ideal. But the really good folks are just not on that app 24/7 for years at a time.
Right.
So that's why you want someone off the app as soon as possible. And there's lots of other avenues for that. You can give each other your snaps. You don't have to even do phone numbers, but some way to just not that tool. And this is where you get sucked in. You've paid for it. So it is playing on all of our ancient brain chemistry in ways that make me furious. And so you just have to play a different game for this to be effective. So you get off the app, you go on this lunch date, you see if they're great, they're lame. You do not ghost or be stupid. You act like a freaking grown-up. And you say, yeah, I don't think this is a fit. Thanks. Good luck to you. Right? If you can't text that, then you go to a therapist right now and work on this. Right? Like that level of being able to say, I'm not interested after one date, you should be able to do that. And I'm telling you, the apps also just train people to behave badly. Mm-hmm. And so I get it. We're all tempted to ghost a thing. We're all tempted to, I don't want to make that phone call. Right?
Yeah.
But it really is problematic. And if you're attempting to create a grown-up relationship, if you're acting on a regular basis, like a teenager who can't handle a phone call or can't write some words down. And I don't mean that to be insulting because it is like everyone I talk to who is on the apps. They're all struggling with this.
Yeah.
So this is about having some discipline about using a product that could actually really help you. But if you don't use discipline, you're screwed. And a company who would do my philosophy would not make any money. So you're never going to have this app, right?
Yeah.
No one's going to develop these.
Here's the funny thing about it, the psychology of it is interesting because, like you said, there's always been matchmaking tools, whether you go way back in time and say, well, that's the barn dance every Saturday. So come on out to
or
the
the
barn
lady
dance.
whose full-time job it is to make
matches. Exactly. Or my wife who tends to do that for people.
Yeah, exactly.
But like there was also, then it evolved, right? It evolved into, video dating, and then it evolved into these other things. As the technology changes, so did the kinds of things. And early in the internet lifespan, the early aughts, mid-aughts, sites like, I can't remember the names of them all, like Match.com, which still exists.
Oh,
Match,
sure.
I think Match owns Tinder, I think. Anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they were all basic, just basic profiles, and you go to the website and put in your thing and hope to find somebody. What's insidious now, and I'm not trying to be conspiratorial here, it's just that they have gotten so good at knowing what your like you said, your ancient chemistry is going to do and how it works and when it'll work and when it won't. And they also know all of us have a very powerful personal computer in our pocket that can do really about anything. And they know the formula and they know the tricks for you to do very simple thumb swipes to do to get you into a place where that becomes habitual, where it becomes like, oh, what's next? It is kind of terrible that we do this to each other, because the people in there are just trying to find somebody they just want to have. They're trying to find meaning and love and someone to care about and all this stuff.
It's cruel.
And it's cruel that the business model, for it to thrive, it requires you to not find somebody. It needs you not to, in large numbers, I mean. Sure, it's fine if one or two. It's like the lottery. The lottery wants everyone to buy lottery tickets, but they only want to give it to one winner.
Right.
Right? That's the business. But our brains are sometimes so slow to glom on to how far they've taken it that we just don't know. You know? And so I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm not saying they're this. You could say this at Twitter, Facebook, all this stuff fits in this category for me. They just figured out ways to get us to go in there and go zip, 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 and get FOMO and get feelings of like, oh, I'm not good enough because that person looks better on Instagram than I ever will. You don't know the whole story, but it doesn't matter because it's the only story they're going to give you, because if they gave you more, this app wouldn't work. You know? Frustrating.
It is frustrating. And it is the problem. You're not going to win. You can't undo the ancient wiring of your brain. That's not going to happen. So your only option, if you're going to use any of these tools, is to figure out, you got to hack it for yourself personally. And sometimes for people that means don't use it at all, right? Like they really are miserable if they do. And something to point out here, the dopamine is a fairly misunderstood chemical, or can be, because we think we're getting dopamine and that makes us feel good. No, dopamine is the driving chemical to get you to do something that will make you feel good. So that's see a apple tree far away. Dopamine is released in increments, so I'll move myself to get to the tree to get the apple. Yeah. Then my brain gets the happy bath when I get the apple.
Right.
I think, and here's what's crazy is the dopamine will come even if the end thing isn't actually a happy bath. So we can still have this driving behavior to have more or to get a thing we don't have. Because when in the history, let's go back to food for a second. When in history did we ever need to say from a neurological, biological sense, like no more food? Never. Until what, 150 years ago? Yeah. Now we're like, oh my gosh, how do we have less food? We need less food, less. Yeah. And we would never have turned down food ever.
No, because our literal survival depended on it. Exactly.
Yeah, right. So now we don't have any systems in place to stop the driving dopamine force. So when you look at any of these apps and how they work, it's and the numbers, right? Like, oh, look how many retweets or follows or whatever the things are. All of those are dopamine delivery little buttons. So driving. And what do we really want in the end? Like you're saying, this connective, loving relationship, a partner, all these things. That's what I'm doing this for. But you are in a machine that's going to give you pellets to get you to keep driving towards a thing. And whether you get to that thing or not is irrelevant in its addictive nature of that driving force. Slot machine's a perfect example, right? Those things are wild. We all just agree we should allow them to exist is wild.
that we're okay with those things even being around.
And we're all like, fun. I mean, the whole city of Las Vegas is built on this premise of driving dopamine to then maybe get a reward, right?
Right.
It's that powerful. So to understand, it's not just the end result that is my deal. It's the actual, what am I doing to train my brain to never feel like it gets what it needs or is satisfied? So that's why people can scroll forever and then feel like crap. It's because you've literally depleted your dopamine system from actually having energy and motivation to do the things that will give you some benefits. So when people say, I just have no energy or no motivation, I have stuff I have to do and I just can't get myself to do it. But you can get yourself to watch an entire season of a show that night. So it's not that you have no motivation. It's that it's been hijacked by really, really expensive production.
Yeah.
Right? If you think about all that went into that to get you to sit there and take that in is just kind of mind-boggling. So it can feel so overwhelming. Like, how am I supposed to win? I can't, right?
Yeah.
So this is why and this is why you need a buddy and some support, because it's really hard to do this on your own. But going back to the dating thing, like, all right, so you have some rules. You play the game long enough to have people text you or message you. Then you move it offline. You move it as quick to face as you can. And because people will spend forever chatting about nothing. And really, Scott, your point is a really good one. What is your goal? And here's the thing. They have you put it on the app. Why are you here? And people will put, I don't know. Or they'll put like, it's like looking for love, but maybe not. Like, there's so many versions of why someone is there.
As long as it meets you up with somebody else who goes, I don't know.
I know. And the problem is, when I talk to these people and I know the real truth and what they're really after, none of that stuff actually matches, right?
Yeah.
And some are like, I just need my self-esteem boosted. You know how many people are on there for that? So many people just want to feel wanted.
Sure.
And then you're like, okay, I'm matching with this person. No, they're not. And this is why all the ghosting's happening. It's because people's stuff is not actually aligning. So we want to get it furthest away from technology as you can to real life, if your goal is to really meet someone and start a life with a person, right? So the quicker you can do that, the better. And then you just start from there. Like, how did that first thing go? Should we keep talking? Do not add more people. Now go back in time. Let's say 1989. Scott, you're a senior in high school.
Yeah.
No, 87.
Yeah.
When was it? I don't know.
A senior in high school, that would have been 87. Yeah.
87. Okay, you're a senior in high school. Now imagine if you're trying to date a girl, right?
Yeah.
And then in between talking to her, you had to go run around and talk to 7 other girls in the hall, outside, until you went, and then you'd go back and talk to her. What?
Right.
Think how crazy
it is. Crazy now that you say it. Yeah, like I haven't thought of that in a long time, but that was the process. That was it.
Yeah, you'd be exhausted, and and then you would go, well, this person is funnier, or I like that outfit on that one.
Yeah.
Her hair doesn't look good today. Like, you would just. It'd be wild. You are shopping. And that is actually what the app is you're shopping. So it puts all the things I cannot stand together. You can tell I have feelings about dating apps.
Yeah. Clearly.
And
by the way, just for the record here, Claire found it, I think, but Match Group is the company I was thinking of that owns Match.com. They started with that, but they own Tinder, Match, Meetic, OkCupid, Hinge, Plenty of Fish, Our Time, and a bunch of other stuff. I don't think they own
let's be
Grindr.
clear. Hinge has done the thing. I even had a moment with Hinge where I saw a commercial where it's like, we want you to get rid of the app. And I was like, I know you're lying.
Liars.
I know you're lying.
Liars.
But I want so badly for that to be how good you are.
It's we're not running into that movie where people are forced to do advertising slogans that are actually genuine.
Well, it's like this with Apple. Apple does this thing. They've done it for the last few years where they introduced a screen time thing to tell you, hey, you spent a lot of time in here, and we're letting you know that maybe you want to not be in here so much on this app or that whatever app, it clocks it.
Sure.
And on the one hand, I'm like, that's great. I want to know if I'm overdoing it or if I need to, this is good. This is a good tool for me. But I also know that most of us are going to ignore it. We're going to see it. We might even feel guilty about it because then we're back on the app doing our thing. But my question is Apple being genuine with it? I think so.
Well, they don't make any money if you're in TikTok more than, like you spent 4 hours in TikTok today. It's not like Apple makes any more money. So there's no real big benefit to them saying, here's how long you were in TikTok. Don't do that anymore. Wink, wink.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is I think the benefit of it is neutral. The neutral benefit is that they first of all know people aren't going to throw their phones away. So they're going to keep selling phones.
They do know that.
They know that. They're comfortable enough in that. Does it make them money? No, but it gives them big PR, right? It makes people go,
sure.
Oh man, Apple really cares about my well-being. They sold me this device that spawned, app stores and apps and everything, and now Android's in on it. Everybody's in on it. But look, they care about me spending too much time on here. Like, I'm torn on that because on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, I like that. Nice, thank you for that. Appreciate it. On the other hand, I'm like, You know I'm still in here, though.
Yeah,
Well,
but I mean, you could
they don't
probably
care.
set it to cut me off after 4 hours. But again, there's no benefit. Apple doesn't make any money based on how little or how much time you spend in somebody's app. I mean, unless it's an app that's got microtransactions, but that's a whole, like, they're not going to say, well, let's not tell them that they're spending a lot of time in Clash of Clans because we're making 12 cents off of every dollar purchase they make.
Yeah, but I will say, like, them cutting off apps' ability to track you while you're doing other things. They're the only ones that give you that option to. I mean, they say ask app not to track. It really just means
Yes,
tell it not to track.
Please don't share my
Yeah,
information.
it's such a nice way to ask. But
what's hard is like it's down the road. We might be dead, but our grandkids maybe could pull up this episode and go, well, they had a sense of how bad things were. Right? Like I feel like that happens sometimes. And when you study history, like recently I read an article about the public transit system in the Twin Cities was like Europe level awesome in the beginning. Like they were creating these in like the 40s and whatever. I can't remember the exact dates, but it was just like, oh, we got this whole thing coming. And then no lie, a mobster, a crooked lawyer, and a greedy businessman got together and literally destroyed like a hostile takeover of this family-owned company that was doing all these cool advanced stuff and sold those cars for scraps and dismantled the whole system so cars could just take over. And no one probably at the time was just like, man, we're really going to regret all this. But everyone regrets it. And now, right? Because we can see it. And I think that there is a version of one day we're going to look at the 2000s to 2050, 2000 to 2050 and go, oh, that was the cold era. Or I don't know. We'll have it. That was Hinge. That was Tinder, Grinder. I don't know. We'll have a name for it.
Well, I could see
because
that
I do think there are consequences. And if you look at the mental health response, I told you this maybe. I don't know. I talked to too many people, but just the stats on adolescent mental health stuff is just mind-boggling. Like a 58% rise in depression among teenagers from 2007 to 2017. That's not even pandemic data, guys.
No.
It's just the 10 years where everyone got a cell phone in their hand with social media. That's what happened then. And so I think it really is this neurological situation where we're all in our own little Vegas. And so the dating version is like absolutely taking our vulnerability and a desire and things we need and want, and it's been gamified for someone else. The house is making the money, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you're going to use it, get off it as fast as you can, and get picky in terms of how you're going to spend your time with it. Be really careful, and get someone to support you, because it's really hard to do, because it is literally built to keep you playing, right?
No.
Yeah. Oh,
you're right.
That's a soapbox. I got to get off it.
Get off that soapbox. That probably you got to go buy new soap now, because that's how they get you.
Crush that box.
That's how they get you every time. No, that's great. I would like to hear from others. I'm sure we will, about their dating experiences recently, or I guarantee this will drum up a bunch of feedback. So
yeah,
let's hear it.
And
let's
then
hear
I have a whole second series. If anyone wants to send me a question about objectification, we need to talk about what our brains do. Because that's part of what happens in anything in social media and online, is things get objectified. And anyway, I got a whole thing. So if anyone has an objectification story to kick off, I'd love to hear one.
That'd be great. Oh, I'd love. That sounds like a fun series. Let's do that. That sounds really good. All right.
Got soapboxes for miles.
Yes, more soapboxes. Wendi, always a pleasure. Realsteps.org is not taking new signups yet, but it's still a thing you can go read about and plan for and check out. So get over there, realsteps.org. It's always available to you, the listener.
Okay.
Have a fantastic week, and tell your son not to wear hats in dark places. Bye now.
Okay, bye.
All right. You should meet Abe. Abe is the sweetest kid. He's such a nice kid.
Really?
But he'll walk into a room and freak you out because he's huge. And in all the buff kind of like he could tear me to pieces kind of way.
Yeah.
And I could see him just intimidating a room full of people if they don't know him. But once you know him, you're like, oh my gosh, you're such a softie.
He's a teddy bear.
Big old teddy bear. All right, we're going to end things here on the show for today. Before we do, though, a quick text from Amber about Uline. But this Uline thing really...
we struck a nerve. We struck a cardboard box nerve with this Uline stuff.
An exposed cardboard nerve.
Although really, nobody's argued with us. It's all been like, oh, yeah, I hate the Uline catalog.
Yeah, we don't have anybody arguing for Uline. Nobody.
Right.
Nobody stepped up and went, it's not all that bad. They're an amazing company and they do good things.
No,
nobody's done that.
No.
But here's what Amber says. Hello, this is for TMS, continuing the Uline catalog conversation. I run a small event and the owner always orders from Uline, which means, you guessed it, I get the catalog. I follow the instructions to cancel so they don't keep coming, but then, keep coming, but then, there's two but thens.
But then
there's another event the next year, and once again the owners order from Uline, and I'm back on the list. Did I mention this all comes to my house? So postal workers know that I'm trying to stop them on this end as well. Amber from Vancouver, Washington.
Jeez,
it's a lot.
It is a lot, and it sucks because their service is very handy for what it is. It's like, oh, I need to ship these America's Next Top Podcaster tumblers. They're this size, and then I also need to have room for a magnet and a lanyard and blah blah blah. So I need a box of this exact size. And you go to Uline, it's like, oh, here's exactly the thing. Uline.com, great. Order.
Yeah.
I'm ordering on a website. It should automatically say, hey, we'll send you marketing via the email.
Yeah.
We're not going to send you marketing because you didn't order from a catalog and call us and say, I'm looking at page 94 and I want the item that's on about third of the way down the page. If I order from online, fine. Send me the marketing things. I can unsubscribe from those.
Yeah.
If I order from the catalog, great. You see how I'm buying from you. Keep sending me catalogs because obviously that is how I purchase from you.
It feels like it's marketing stuck in the 70s, like mid-70s.
It really is. Yeah.
Why?
Totally.
Like Sears and Roebuck kind of bullshit. What are we doing?
Exactly.
Come on,
That's why I still don't get the Sears catalog.
Yeah. There's no we in Uline.
Wow. No, there isn't.
No, there is not.
But there is lie.
There is a lie. Oh, shit.
The big lie.
Oh, it's not spelled right, but it's still there.
There's an N. There's an N somewhere in the middle of it, but
there's
still a lie.
Oh, I heard a thing you'd like. I put it up on Twitter, but let's see if you can do this. Can you name the highest number between 1 and
88.
a million? Shit, you saw it. So 88 is the highest number you can say without an N in it. And some guy on Twitter goes, 888. And I went,
well, you just did it though.
Yeah, but it's not. You got to say 800, which has N's. I think you have to pronounce it. I think is the deal.
You have to say 800, and because that's the other thing is the
Yeah, it's weird though.
1,000.
Yeah, it's kind of a dumb exercise because it's just a freaking letter thing. But I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah, it's funny that I need to subscribe to whatever newsletter you're getting. That has all these fun facts.
I was going to tell Wendy, but I was up too late watching YouTube. I've been obsessed with astrophysics videos, just stuff about the size of the universe and what we know and how black holes, our understanding has changed, all this kind of stuff. And sometimes I get hooked on that to the point that it's way too late and I should not be looking at my screen at 2:00 in the morning watching astrophysics content. But man, some cool stuff comes out of there that I get to think about all day and then tell other people about,
Didn't we discovered that the Carl Sagan show Cosmos was back on streaming earlier this year or last year or something?
I would love to go watch those.
And what was it on? Because I remember saying, I want to go back and watch all those.
Has it got them on watch?
There's the new one, obviously, with Neil deGrasse Tyson, but there was
I've seen all those.
There we go. Cosmos, a personal journey. Oh, not sure. A personal voyage, not showing where it's streaming.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It was on something though. I remember it being like we talked about it. It brought up a whole discussion about Carl Sagan and stuff. But
because I love that stuff, man.
Oh, it was so good.
So good.
It was presented in a way that was like super easy to understand, but not dumbed down.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
that's what set it apart. Tubi has the Neil deGrasse Tyson one, so that's all up on there. That's also very good. I don't think
those are really good.
Yeah, they're not Sagan level. Sagan stuff was, in some ways, this stuff just repeated Carl Sagan stuff. right? Like it was like, well, okay. But the Carl Sagan stuff was like at a time where we didn't know, it felt like we didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And it was like mind-blowing, and I loved Carl Sagan.
How many billions of stars are there, Carl? Billions and billions?
Billions of stars. Billions
of stars.
That guy was great.
Super nasal. Billions
of stars.
Here, I'm going to fly around in my dandelion spaceship.
Oh, yeah.
Billions of stars.
The effects work wasn't that great back then, but...
Oh, my God, the soundtrack, Matuba. Oh, I forgot about that. The opening theme song. Oh, I want to listen to it right now.
Let's hear a taste. Here, I'll pull it up.
You found it? Did you find it?
Cosmos soundtrack. Let's see. We're going to go with the old one. Yep, there it is. Let's just get a little taste here. A little tasty of it.
Yeah.
Is this it right here? No, this
That's
is
it right
else.
there.
Oh, no, this
Vangelis?
is it. This is it. Is it Vangelis?
Yeah. I think, no?
Hold on. This is in French. I can't read it. Oh, it is Vangelis. Vangelis, which is what I am when I see a custom van. I get Vangelis. I want one so bad.
Nice.
I want one that I can pass down to Van.
Oh my God, I'm putting that, finding it on iTunes, and I'm going to listen to it after Coverville today, which is all about Damien Rice. Hey, Claire, you know Damien Rice? Do you have horrible things to say about Damien Rice? He's not as good as the Android version of Damien Rice. The Android version of Damien Rice is much better. Anyway, Damien Rice turning 50 today. Coverville, twitch.tv/Coverville at noon. That's a little over an hour from now.
That's right. Fill your soul with music. Get it all done at lunch, you know?
That's right. I'll be playing Marvel Snap for hopefully a long time to come.
Yeah.
But my Werewolf by Night deck.
I'll bet ByteDance sells that off to someone else. It'll all be fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, exactly.
Core tonight, 5 p.m. You want to get your video game discussion on. That'll be 5 p.m. tonight, your usual Thursday night Core episode. So do check that out. Also play Retro tomorrow at 2:30 Mountain Time. And tomorrow, if you're a patron, we will continue our watch of What If on Disney Plus for our Friday couch party as we continue down that road. That'll be at 10, right?
That'll be at 10. 10 a.m.
Yeah, we always do 10 a.m. For patrons, everybody else, well, you better sign up. If you signed up right now, you'd have access to it tomorw.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have to wait.
You could join it and watch it with us.
Yeah.
Also, I think at some point, I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. I don't think I'm going to lift after Lift Bro. I don't think I'm going to lift after Coverville today. So today, let's plan on continuing the build of the Millennium Falcon. You're doing Snap or Core Snap. You're doing Core at 5
p.m. Yep.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. That's excellent.
Totally get that in. And
so between 3
that's on
and
YouTube.
4 p.m.
That's YouTube, right? At Coverville on YouTube?
Yes.
Right.
YouTube.com/Coverville.
Nice. Also, Film Sack this weekend. I forgot what we're watching.
Oh, we're watching Backdraft.
Oh, Backdraft. That's right.
The film from acclaimed director Ron Howard, featuring Clint Howard.
Yeah, Clint Howard, turns out, gets to cameo in all his brother's projects. So watch for that.
We watched it last night because I need an extra day now to watch the movie and work on stuff for Film Sack. Put myself into this predicament myself, and I...
Well done.
Yeah.
Did you like it? Did you feel like it held up without giving too much away?
You want me to say? Yeah, I think it holds up beautifully. Okay. Firemen. This will obviously be a much bigger thing to discuss on Saturday when we record the show. But I feel like firefighting looks relatively the same in any decade. Like firefighting doesn't feel dated.
That's interesting. I'm excited to see it.
90s firefighting doesn't feel dated.
I haven't seen it in so long. I have very few memories, except they have that. It's the one place where I remember that sound effect of fire going. Yeah, whatever. I don't even know how to do it.
Yeah.
But it feels like that was the king of that use, and then I've heard it a million times since.
Yes, exactly. That and Billy Baldwin. I remember him being handsome in the 90s, but looking back and watching this, it's like maybe it's just because we've gotten so spoiled with how good Alec looks, but Billy's a little, I don't know, a little funny looking.
A little funny looking. The little fella, like the little fella in Fargo.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to be great. Look forward to all of that content and more coming up. And also, starting tomorrow, one Santa per day. I am drawing one Santa.
Oh, that's cool.
Per day for 25 freaking days.
25 Santas?
25 Santas. This way. Here, check out the brilliant brain on Brad here. When I'm done with 25 Santas, it'll be just for the fun and the viewing and the good times, right? Of
course,
but then next year, I have all that content to make an advent calendar that I can sell with little Santas. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
There'll be nerdy ones in there, and it's going to be fun. So watch for that.
And then the future year, I'll create little 3D printed molds, and we'll make chocolate Santas shaped like each of those Santas, and make a chocolate advent calendar.
Because you'll have a food printer by then.
We'll just make the molds, and we'll.
Oh, and then we'll just good point.
Yeah.
But one day you can. You can already do this.
Yeah.
It's just really
you
expensive.
can already do it. Yeah. Listen,
Brian's
I don't have room for another 3D printer in that.
I could totally see you having one day. A food printer.
A food 3D printer? Yeah. I don't know. It feels like great. I'm going to make this piece of candy that takes 4 hours to 3D print, and then it's going to be gone in a second. It's like, no, just give me I'll just eat the filament. Nom, 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 nom.
And it is all candy and sweet things. That's all they're printing right now.
Exactly. Yeah. No one's printing a steak.
Yeah. Print a steak or a lasagna or something. That's what I want.
There is look, if somebody out there wants to buy my my Cobra Max, my Anycubic Cobra Max massive 3D printer, there's a thing on Kickstarter right now called ChromaSet, and it's basically a replacement printer head for $280 or something that does 8-color printing and has you basically feed, or no, I guess 4 different colors of filament, and you can 3D print stuff really easy with multiple colors printed, and just replace the print head on mine that's got the fan issue.
Oh, that's not bad. You're going to save the money and unload a thing. I like it.
Yeah.
Brian's got ideas.
I just don't want to do it myself.
Get that dopamine going.
Yeah, there's a couple local people I'm going to talk to and say, do you want to buy my 3D printer before I put it up on Facebook Marketplace?
Get those local people. Get them involved.
I don't want to ship this damn thing.
No, why would you?
And I know these people are brilliant tech minds who are like, I'd love to get in there and put new fans in there and stuff.
Sure. We have lots of smart listeners who like to build stuff.
We absolutely do.
Speaking of which, lots of smart listeners support us on Patreon. Will you? Well, you should. Patreon.com/TMS is the place to do it. If you don't like commercials, or you want to do these couch parties, you want art in the mail, you want some other cool stuff, pre-show content every day, all those things, well, it's as simple as signing up today at patreon.com/TMS. Everything else is at frogpants.com/TMS, and we are out of here. Brian, let's play a selection, probably a request, my guess.
Sure, a request, maybe a cover. Oh my gosh, maybe both. If I would have thought about it, I would have played a cover of Fairy Tale of New York in honor of Shane McGowan, because this one is for early next week. We had a few for the same date, so I'm doing it now. Chris says, a decade ago this year, my mother passed away after a battle with cancer. As kids, we spent a lot of time listening to the Moody Blues with her as we cooked, cleaned, and cared for each other. I wanted to share our love for the band with a song that I'll never forget hearing her hum along with. Signed, Chris. Great memory, and I love how music brings people together and people's memories. I don't know what song people will associate with me long after I'm dead. I'm hoping it's not To Become One by the Spice Girls.
But what I really want. It'll be Spice Girls related.
It'll be Spice Girls, exactly. Yeah. Sure, fine. Fine, whatever. The Voice is the song he wanted to hear, a cover of the song The Voice by the Moody Blues. The cover I'm going with is a good one. It's one of these bluegrass covers from John Cowan. A Nashville Tribute to the Moody Blues is the album that came out in 2004 that features this John Cowan and a cover of The Voice.
That'll do it for us. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Get more at frogpants.com.
So Willie Nelson looks like he should be vacuumed.
Whoa. Willie Nelson looks like he should be vacuumed. What was that about?
Oh, I thought beckoned. Vacuumed?
Oh, let me try it again.
That sounds more appropriate.
So Willie Nelson looks like he should be vacuumed.
You know what? I don't know now. Now that you say that, maybe it's different.